my name is Irene. I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I talk about pins on books and hopefully I can give you a few good recommendations. Before I get started, I'd just like to ask you please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Alright, so today I am doing the Finally Fall book tag. Fall is my favorite season of the year, so I was super excited to be able to talk about some books that kind of fit the season and things like that. I've never done this tag before, so yeah, I'm excited to do that, but I'm just going to get started. Question number 1 is, in fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. For this one I chose Down Among the Sticks and Bones. So this has a very vivid setting for me. This is the second book in the Wayward Children series, which is a series about these kids that have to go to the school because when they were younger, they went through a door that led them to a different world, and then when they went to that world, you know, they didn't know how much time would pass. It could have been years, it could have been minutes, it could have been days, it could be anything, and they go into that world, and then when they come back from that world, they don't know how to live life away from that world, and some of them really want to go back and are just waiting for their door to show up again, and some of them are kind of glad to be out and trying to figure out how to do the real world. But this one follows two characters, Jack and Jill, and they are two girls, and they are younger. So in the first book they're at the school, and in the second book they are showing their backstory of what it was like to be in their world and what happened to get in their world. And I think that the setting, especially in each of the books, the settings are so vivid. Like, I feel like this world is real and tangible, and it kind of has like a darker feel, kind of like a spooky kind of thing. And I felt like the setting was very vivid, and it is something that I can easily imagine in my head, like, to this day. So definitely a book with a vivid setting. Question number 2. Nature is beautiful but also dying. Name a book that's beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. So for this one, I am choosing The Lovely Bones. So in this book, there is this girl, and she is kidnapped and murdered by this man. So you see in this story the perspective of her from in heaven, and then you can see her parents and how they are figuring out the situation and trying to figure out who did it and what happened. And that's not a spoiler because that happens right at the beginning, and it just shows what it's like for this family to grieve and to show what it's like for her to watch this from up above. But anyway, I thought it was brilliantly written. It's very unique. The movie's also amazing for this, but yeah, it's definitely about grief and kind of like a murder mystery type of thing where they're trying to figure out who did it. So I think it was excellently done. Number 3, fall is back to school season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. For this one, I do not have an answer. I'm sorry. I do not read nonfiction books at all. Like, I can't remember the last nonfiction book I read. So, yeah, this I can't answer because I have no nonfiction books that I have, like, actually, like, enjoyed or that I can even recall. So, this answer, I can't give an answer. Number 4. In order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. Name a fictional family, household, friend group that you would like to be part of. So for this one, I decided I'm going to pick 2. First of all, Harry Potter. I could not answer this question differently because as much as there's a bunch of like fictional families that I love and care about, this is like my go-to. This is the one that I love the most. I love Harry, Hermione, Ron. I love Hogwarts. I love the whole atmosphere, and I would want to be in this fictional family. But because that's such a typical answer, I decided to pick another 2. The Eye of the World, the Wheel of Time series. I'm only, I think, 4 books in, but still, I love these characters. And for some reason, like, I didn't think that this would be the answer to this question, because I kind of struggle with this series a bit, because it's like, so many characters, so many things going on that's kind of hard to follow at some points, but I realize that how much I do connect with these characters and how much I care about them. So this really is the answer for the question, is I really do love these characters and would love to be in their dynamic family friend group, because they basically are like family to each other, and there's so many unique characters and all of that. So this and Harry Potter is my answer. Number 5. The colorful leaves are piling up in the ground. Show us a pile of fall colored spines. Okay, give me 1 second and I am going to figure that out. This is my pile of fall colored spines. I don't know if this looks fall enough. So I picked some yellows, some oranges, a black, yellows and reds, and I feel like that's fall. I don't know, but that's the best I can come up with out of the books I have. I think that those are my most, like, fall spines. Okay, question number 6. Fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story. This one I struggled with a lot for some reason, because to be honest, I do not like stories within stories. I feel like it really, because I use reading as escapism, you know, I want to be able to escape from the real world, and I feel like I kind of feel disconnected from the story when it's being told through someone else or something, and I don't really like that, because I feel like I'm just listening to someone tell a story and it's all kind of like not real or fake, or I just don't connect with it as much. But I was able to come with the answer, and that is The Things They Carried. So this book is true life stories of this man who was in the war, and it is him telling the stories of what happened in the war and all that. So I feel like that's story within a story, because he's telling stories of his life and he's telling the stories to the reader. And I actually really love this book, and that's the best answer I could give for this question. Number 7. The nights are getting darker. Share a dark, creepy read. So I do like a lot of like creepy styled books, but I didn't know what was like the perfect creepy read to do, because a lot of them are more psychological creepy. I want to do like an actual creepy one. So the one I'm picking for this one is Strange Grace. And for this book, I actually didn't enjoy it that much. I think at the time I thought I enjoyed it more than I did, but I just felt disconnected to it because it had flower writing. But however, I think that this is a perfect dark spooky read. So in this town there is a forest, and I think it is like every year the best boy gets sacrificed and has to go into this forest. And this year I believe a couple people became the best boy, and it became a more complicated thing, and this forest was really creepy, and I love dark, creepy forests in books. I think that it can be really well done, but this forest was really creepy, and it also had like a really interesting relationship dynamic. There was a polyamorous relationship, and I don't know how I felt about that. It felt kind of, I think that was like I mean, I'm fine with that in books. I've read books like that before, but it's just not, I don't think it was done well. But I do think this is a very dark, creepy read, perfect for reading during the fall time. But you have to like flower writing, I feel like, to like this. Because for me, flower writing just makes me feel disconnected to the story, and I can't get as engrossed into it. I like more simple writing. But either way, that's dark, creepy read. Number 8. The days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. So this one was also very hard for me, because the thing is I do not read that many heartwarming reads, I realized after looking at like all the books I read on Goodreads, and I don't read like all of them are kind of dark and like kind of tragic in some areas, and some of them are heartwarming because I do read some romance, but isn't like the heartwarming thing that I would recommend someone to just like, you know, stay inside on a cold rainy day. Like, I don't know how to explain. I just don't read that many like sweet stories, you know, where dark things don't happen. All the books I read are kind of dark, but for this one I chose The Complete Tales of Winnie the Pooh. I mean, it's kind of sad that this is the only thing on my list that I actually that's actually heartwarming, but it is heartwarming and it's amazing, and I think that it would be perfect to read if you're just trying to, because it's really short, because I think this is 4 books, so you know, I think I think it would be really easy to get through, and there's so many lessons to learn, and I know it's kind of like for kids, but it's also like so sweet. Yeah, it's kind of sad that this is the only one on my red list that's heartwarming. But anyway, this is my recommendation. Number 9, Fall. Returns every year. Name an old favorite that you would like to return to soon. So for this one, I chose The Book Thief. So I actually really love The Book Thief. I read it, I think, years and years ago. I think I was the beginning of high school, middle of high school, something like that. But I loved this book. It was so good. It is like more of a tragic, sad story, and I want to reread it sometime soon. I tried to listen to it on audiobook, but I just couldn't get into it. I don't think I liked the audiobook, so I'm going to try to physically read it sometime soon, but I really love this book. I think it has so many good, like, characters and emotions and things that happen, and I also really like books that kind of took place during the World War II time. So you know, this book takes place, and this girl is German, and she meets a Jewish boy, and they start, not like a young Jewish boy, she's pretty young, and he is anyway, so her family has him move into their house, and they hide him, and also there's this cute little friendship and romance thing, and also she steals books and reads them, and I love this book, and I can't wait to reread it. Last one, number 10, fall is a perfect time for cozy reading night. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. So this one was also kind of difficult because I actually spend most of my time reading at work, because I have a very low-key kind of job where I just sit at a desk all day, and you know, I work when it's busy, but when it's slow, that's usually when I get most of my reading done. So usually I'm just sitting at a desk reading, so I don't really ever read at home in a cozy spot and do things. But if I were to, I would sit in my green recliner that I have, and I would have a reading light. Turn the lights off because I think it's cozy to read in the dark, but with a reading light, and I would get a blanket and hot chocolate. Hot chocolate is a necessity. Even at work, I do drink hot chocolate while I read. It is very nice, and I recommend it. But anyway, that is my fall reading tag. I think that's finally fall tag. But I really enjoyed making this video. I really love all those books and recommend them, and for the rest of the month I am going to be doing more videos that are kind of fall based, scary book based, that type of thing. So please stay tuned for that. I post every single Thursday, and as always, my Goodreads is linked down below along with my Instagram, and please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.